Okay. So, here we are. Just a quick little recap. We were trying to, we had been kicked out of the park officially. They told us, we had X amount of time to get off the mountain. We were like, say less. Like, that's way too much time. We don't need that much time. like, so we, uh, we decided to take off, got all our stuff packed up, and we're jamming on the way. That I can remember, it was the day before Mother's Day. Day before Mother's Day, so like the 12th or 11th, May 12th, right? Very very close. Right now, damn, that's a trip. Right now, this time like 6 years ago or whatever, this is like I was in Yellowstone right now. That's kind of wild. I didn't think about that. So, anyways, um, we had we had left, and we were just driving, like, and like if we hadn't got kicked out for what happened, it would have been something else. I promise you. There's no way we would have made it through the whole summer. Like, these other people were, everyone was dropping like flies, and plus me, like, if you know anything about me, I don't have the best track record anywhere of going anywhere doing anything without at least them trying to kick me out. Like, you name it, summer school, regular school, like the the fair or something. I don't know, but like literally, it's just like a part of my like story wherever I go. For some reason, I'm not in much high demand. Who knows why? I don't get it. Anyways, so we were like, we were going. Just like one time, I think my boy asked me if I wanted to stop, and I was like, nah, I'm good. And like another thing about us leaving was like, I saw the way that they were like working my friend, and like for me it was like fine, like I was doing little kitchen things here and there, whatever. Him being like a waiter, he was gonna be a waiter, so they were like very very like, make sure your one hand is behind your back and your posture is like this, and like, because I guess it is like upscale clients with like money, or people who come stay there. it's it costs money to come out there, and like, it's probably like rich families or whatever. So like, I would talk to them when, because I would have to ask them what kind of rib they wanted, and like I would talk to them and stuff, and like tell them I was from California, and like it was always cool for me. But I could see, because we worked in the same kind of area when we would work together, and I would just see the way that they were like trying to like whip them into shape, just like very aggressively, very like, and I could just see that my boy was not feeling it, and like I don't blame him either. And we just kind of like, we had had enough before that had happened. Like, we had been had enough. So like, that was just kind of like the answer of just like a sign, just like, let's go. So we're driving. We're in Vegas. My homie used to live in Vegas, so he wanted to show me around little spots of like whatever. Like, he had some specific like little spots that he wanted to show me, and it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. So it was like, and the car needed to cool down. So we parked at this parking structure at like UNLV. I have some videos from up there, so I can attach them to this video. And we were up there just kind of trying to like buy some time, right? So we stay up there for a little bit, and then eventually like a couple hours goes by, and we get back on the road. And the car's driving and everything's cool, and we're like, "Oh, okay, cool." So, we're driving. It's like, I can remember it was like 9 or like 10 o'clock in the morning. We're driving, 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 driving. All of a sudden, I hear this like, this big ass kick, like, and I look over at my friend, and I look down at his feet, and he's trying to hit the gas, and he's trying to hit the brake. Neither one of them's working. And right then at that moment, I see a sign, and it says Baker, California, 11 miles. and like literally there was no, like nothing was coming from the gas pedal or anything. So like I can remember in my head being like, dude, there's no way we're gonna make it 11 miles. Like, and remember, like we're on the way back basically from Vegas, so you already know how desolate it is and how there's nothing out there. So like we're like, dude, like what are we gonna do? Like, so we end up just cruising. And I remember, like, I'm not a religious type of person, but I kind of was like, please just make it there. Like, please, can we just please make it there? And by the skin of our, like, chins, like, we literally get to the exit and we pull off the exit, and it turns out to be one of those gas stations that's like a stop for people that has like a subway inside of it, and it's like air conditioned inside of it. So honestly, best place that we could have ended up, like best place. So we're there, and like, but the car is done for. Car is done for. There's nothing. I don't have AAA. My friend doesn't have any, like anything. Nobody knows that we're coming to town or anything. So like we're just trying to like, and so me, I'm like, I had some like money, so I was thinking like, oh well, I'm just gonna call it Uber, or like I wanted to get home from to California that bad. I wanted to get home that bad that I was like, all right, we'll just buy an Uber from Baker, California. I don't care, I'll pay for it. And literally, I would have done that, but I didn't understand that. Like, I just thought Ubers and Lyfts come anywhere, everywhere. Like, I never had ran into a situation where Uber, like, it couldn't find anybody. Like, that was a first for me. And of course, it's this situation. So, like, we're like trying to figure out what to do, right? And there's no Ubers, there's no Lyfts, there's nothing. Like, my friend, his dad lived out in like Bermuda Dunes, which is somewhat in that area, and like he was trying to call his dad, but him and his dad don't have a good relationship, so like that was never like anything. And I was trying to call someone I knew that would go to Palm Springs quite a bit, and I was trying to see if he'd give me a ride, but he couldn't. And finally, I tried to call this taxi service. I look up a taxi service, right? And this guy picks up and he's like, "Yo." And I'm talking to him and I'm explaining to him like the situation of like how there's like nobody coming to get us, and he's like, "All right, so where are you trying to go?" And I explain, like Redondo Beach, Torrance, and he goes, "All right, well, for 200 and like $50, for like 250, I can take you to Redondo Beach right now." And I was like, that's too much, man. Like I didn't even have that much money, but that was too much anyways. So I tell the dude, I'll call you back. I'm like, I'm working on some other stuff. I might have someone who can give me a ride. So like, I'll let you know. And the guy's like, all right, man. And literally, like, while me and my friend are trying to figure this out, this taxi guy's texting me and he's like, hey, man, nobody's like, I'm like picking up my phone's ring, like vibrating, and I'm picking my phone up and it's like, hey, man, nobody's gonna come get you out there. There's no Ubers or Lyfts out there. And like I would like be like, this guy, put my phone away. It would ring like 10 minutes later. He'd be like, I'm out here all the time, bro. I live right here. Nobody's coming to get you. And I was like, dude, like he was really trying to like, I mean, I don't blame him, I guess, but he was really trying to drive the point home that like we were not going to be able to get picked. Like he was the only way for it to happen. So like he would just kept sending me these little messages like, ain't nobody gonna come get you, man. You got to make a move soon. Like he was trying to like pressure me, and like I was like, damn, dude, like chill out, like. But like every like 5 minutes, he was hitting me with a little text like that, like He's like, you can wait all you want, man. No Ubers or Lyfts are gonna come this way. I'm telling you. Like, so we're sitting there and we're sitting there, and my homie had talked to his dad, but his dad was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like it was just a typical, didn't care about us, what we were going through, whatever. Like the plan was that to leave the car there with most of our stuff and just take like a backpack worth of stuff, and then he was gonna get like his car insurance or some insurance company to give him a ride out there to get his car, which, you know, that was cool with me. I just got my stuff like the next day. So that was how we were gonna do it, but we didn't have any confirmation of how we were gonna like travel. So we're sitting at this gas station for probably like 5 hours, just sitting. I would go from sitting inside to outside, sitting in the car, sitting like trying to watch South Park on like a phone or something, trying to kill time. And by the grace of God, man, my homie's dad pulls up in this little PT Cruiser, this tiny little red PT Cruiser. He pulls up, doesn't call us, doesn't say he's coming. We had no idea that this guy was coming at all. Like, I'm so glad we didn't, like, I'm just glad that we were there when he pulled up, because he did not tell anybody anything. He just showed up and was right there, like, next to us. So he ends up, I mean, you want to talk about awkward rides, man. Like, my homie was basically just like talking like to his dad the entire ride, of just like basically saying like, I didn't want to call you. Like this was not because I wanted to do this. It was just like I was just sitting. I was kind of like sitting in the car, just kind of like can we just get a little closer before you go and like rip this dude's head off, please? Like, so he doesn't like kick us out of the car 5 minutes down the road. Like, I get it, but like, you know, I was just, you know, I'm not trying to be selfish or anything, but you know, I wanted to travel and get at least somewhere. So his dad ends up giving us a ride to Pomona. That was as far as he was willing to give us, or Ontario, Pomona, whatever. I'm bad with maps. Ontario. So he takes us to this Taco Bell in Ontario. We get there in 5 seconds. I pull out my app and I get Uber. The Uber, I lock it in. I get the Uber. Guy comes, picks us up, takes us all the way back to my pad where I was at in Redondo, which I was actually moving pads because we had gotten our rent raised by $600 out of nowhere and couldn't pay that. So we had to move to the spot that I'm at right now in Torrance. So that was happening the day that I came back. I had no idea what was going on, but it just so happened that day I came back, my whole house was empty. Like, my whole house was empty. Like, I dropped my homie off, came back, and my whole house was empty. And that was like the evening, nighttime, and that very next day was like early in the morning. I had to like wake up and I had to move all of my stuff into the house that I'm staying at now. And I've been here ever since, and I definitely do not want to go back to Montana or Wyoming or wherever the heck I was at, because I love California. I love Southern California, and I don't want to leave like that ever again. Like, that was it was quite an experience. Hey, like the lady said in the beginning, you're gonna have an experience, and we did have quite an experience. I'll tell you that much. It was that lady was not wrong, but that was how we got banned from Yellowstone, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I don't need to go back there for anything, and I don't plan on it. So it's no skin off my back that I can't go back there. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little storyline. Like I said, I have so much more stuff, like complete storylines and wild stuff, close calls, you name it. Like, I'm trying to think of a way I can do my rehab stuff without, like, because rehab's kind of personal. So I can definitely do the one when I was like 15. I can do that one, like carefully. I can do that one, but the more recent one from like 4 years ago, that one's gonna be more tricky. I don't know if I could do that one. That one's gonna like get people fired and stuff, and like I don't want to do that. I don't think there's any way I can anonymize it, but who knows. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm glad I was able to like stick some footage and everything with it, and thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys like my channel, and yeah, have a good night.